Welcome back to CNEN, your crypto news entertainment network. On this channel, we break down what's actually being built in crypto blockchain hash graph so you can understand where real adoption is happening. Today, we're talking about something that might completely change how you think about competition, especially in global logistics. Because FedEx, one of the largest shipping companies in the world, is not just using blockchain, they're helping build a system that their competitors could also use. UPS, DHL, other global carriers, and at the center of that system is Hedera Hashgraph. So in this video, we're going to break down why global logistics has a massive trust problem, why competitors actually need to cooperate, what GBBC and BITA are doing behind the scenes, and how Hedera Hashgraph could become the trust layer for global trade. Let's get into it. So FedEx isn't just competing, it's building infrastructure. As you can see here, FedEx has joined the Hedera Council to support the future of digital global supply chains. They did that in February, halfway through February. So let me start with a question. Why would FedEx want to build something that its competitors could use? That honestly sounds counterintuitive. But when it comes to global logistics, the real competition isn't just delivery speed, it's actual infrastructure. Because logistics companies don't operate in isolation. A single shipment might pass through multiple carriers, customs agencies, warehouses, countries, which means even competitors rely on shared systems. And that's exactly where FedEx's move becomes interesting. The real problems in global logistics. Um, so you can see here that the top six global cross-border logistics challenges is tedious freight procurement process, manual bidding. Um, you can read all that. I'm sure you can pause and read if you really want to read the things. Manual document handling, growing incidental costs, lack of shipment visibility, poor customer experience, absence of analytics driven logistics planning. So, absence of analytics driven logistics planning. If this was on blockchain, you could plug in probably AI to monitor all that. Bam, wonderful logistics, and other people can look at it too. Poor customer experience is probably, as we see, lack of shipment visibility, so lack of technology, absence of analytics, lack of technology, growing incidental costs. Again, might be because of lack of technology. Everything's manual, takes longer, more issues can arise. Manual document handling, like, come on, human error is just insane. Tedious freight procurement process is again, everything's just manual. So the growing incidental costs and the poor customer experience probably go hand in hand with the lack of technology. Um, so moving on for this, global logistics is not just about moving packages, it's about managing data. Every shipment generates information going back to how one single package could go through multiple different carriers. Um, we need to know where it came from, where it's going, who handled it, what condition it's in, whether it's meeting compliance rules. But that data right now is fragmented, it's siloed, it's in like private databases and private things. It's really not easily verifiable. Different companies use different systems, different countries use different standards, and sometimes that data still relies on manual processes and paperwork, like we saw Shipsy say in their report. So here's the real issue. Trust. Because in global trade, multiple parties need to agree on the same information. Carriers, customs, governments, retailers. If one system says a package is cleared and another says it isn't, everything stops. So the real challenge is not actually moving the goods, it's creating shared trusted data across multiple organizations. I will show you here how global standardization can lower costs, reduce waste efficiently, streamline workflows, faster execution, builds trust, reinforces reputation globally, easier compliance, rapid market response, fewer barriers, quicker global expansion. So honestly, like everything there sort of sounds like the interoperability of global logistics. It sounds like standardization is really going to help with the global logistics. So again, it's creating shared trusted data across multiple organizations. So enter Hedera Hashgraph. This is where Hedera comes in. This is what I wanted you to see. Um, Hedera Hashgraph provides a distributed consensus network that allows multiple parties to share data with trusted timestamps and immutable records. Instead of each company relying on its own database, they can anchor important events to a neutral trust layer. And that's exactly what makes Hedera Hashgraph powerful logistics, because it doesn't replace existing systems, it verifies them. As you can see here on my screen, trusted timestamps verified order. Uh, Hedera Consensus Service acts like a decentralized notary. So again, I'm not going to read through absolutely everything on there. You can go to hedera.com and take a look more at the consensus service. But basically, um, everything that goes through Hedera is saved onto the hash graph, and there is no worry about any tampering of the data. All the data that has been saved in the hash graph is safe, and nobody's going to mess with it. Um, so now this is where things are getting real. FedEx joins the Hedera Council. Um, that basically means that they help govern the network, they run infrastructure, they help shape use cases. And basically, they have been very clear about why they joined. They want to build a trusted digital infrastructure for global supply chains. They need a system where data can be shared, data can be verified, and no single party controls everything. That is exactly where Hedera Hashgraph is designed to do, the Hedera Consensus Service that we just looked at. Um, and so again, FedEx isn't doing this alone. They're involved with something called the GBBC or the BITA, the Blockchain and Transport Alliance, and the Global Blockchain Business Council. Here's BITA standards. Let you look at that, read that if you guys want to. Basically, these are groups, not competitors, fighting each other. They're collaborators building standards for the industry. And that includes companies like FedEx, UPS, Salesforce, Delta. Yes, actual competitors. If I go down here, I can click here who's on the Beta leadership team. I hope you're seeing this right now. So, Dale Christie, FedEx, he is the lead representative for the Hedera Governing Council. Uh, Dr. Johnson of Delta Airlines, Greg Brown of UPS, and Paul Rapino, Senior Vice President of Business Development and Enterprise Governance Standard, blah, blah, blah. Again, I don't need to read everything, you guys can read, but so you can see, and they come from, they're connected to the GBBC, which the GBBC, again, I'm not going to explain all this stuff to you. It's the Global Blockchain Business Council. Take a look at that. I urge you to do your own research and check stuff out. But yeah, so yeah, very, very important. So moving on, let me explain why all this is so important. Technology adoption at scale doesn't happen because one company builds something. It happens when standards are created. Standards define how data is structured, how systems communicate, how different organizations interact. Without standards, systems can't talk to each other. Without standards, entire industries can connect. So, what FedEx is doing, sorry, I totally messed that up. With standards, entire industries can connect. So, what FedEx is doing through the GBBC and BITA is helping define how blockchain can be used across global logistics. And where Hedera Hashgraph fits in all this, like we've sort of said, as the infrastructure to execute the rules that are defined by FedEx and its competitors on this new infrastructure. Hedera provides the timestamps, I can't talk anymore, immutable logs, so when logistics events occur, they can be recorded on Hedera, creating a shared trusted record. So let me break this down in a simple way. This is what's called the logistic stack. So you can see the logistics stack here. At the top is the physical movement, packages actually moving around the world. Below that, we have the data capture, which is every scan, barcode, GPS ping, IoT sensor, and tracking update. Below that, we've got the enterprise systems, which is FedEx, UPS, customs, retailers, all managing their own systems and data. Now, here's things where things usually break down because those systems don't naturally communicate well. So below that, you have standards, GBBC, and BITA. Those define the shared rules, so all these different companies can actually connect and exchange data. And finally, at the foundation of the entire stack, you have the trust layer. That's where Hedera Hashgraph sits. Not replacing the layers above it, but verifying them all, making sure the data flowing through the entire system can be trusted. Um, and this is the important part. Every time something happens in logistics, a package gets scanned, a shipment crosses a border, a compliance check is completed, a delivery is confirmed, that creates data. That data can be hashed, timestamped, submitted to Hedera, which means each event becomes a transaction on Hedera Hashgraph. Now think about that at scale. FedEx alone moves millions of packages per day. Multiply that across the entire logistics industry, you start seeing the potential. Here's the big takeaway. FedEx is not trying to build a closed system. They're helping define open standards, which means competitors like UPS, DHL, global carriers can all plug into the same infrastructure because shared systems require shared rules, and shared rules require neutral infrastructure. That's exactly what Hedera Hashgraph provides. It's if systems like this are adopted, Hedera Hashgraph could become part of the infrastructure that verifies global trade, not replacing logistics companies, but connecting them. So yeah, people have been asking how blockchain hash graph DAGs, DLTs actually make sense. This might be one of the clearest answers. Not speculation, not hype, but real infrastructure. Because every shipment, every scan, every checkpoint is a piece of data that needs to be trusted. That will be a transaction on the Hedera hash graph, and it will verify it. Thanks for watching CNEN, your crypto news entertainment network. If you found this valuable, please like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know what you think. I'll see you in the next one.